Looks like we have a hornworm problem with this tomato plant. Pulled this big old hornworm off of our pink oxheart tomato plant. It was just munching down, leaving giant turds everywhere and eating every bit of the leaves from the top down. So he has earned himself a spot in the chicken coop. Ooh, look at them fighting over him. What kind of poop is this? I don't understand. I've never seen this before. So if you know what kind of poop this is, let me know. I've never seen pink poop. But I've got pink poop, and then I got some black poop over here. I'm not sure what bug they belong to. These bugs make for terrible garden pets. To be honest with you, this is not exactly the way I had planned for our garden tours for this week to go, but I worked really hard to clean up the garden, pull all the weeds, played pest detective to figure out what bugs were bothering the garden, sprayed neem and went through, cleaned up the garden some, and I did not finish. It got so hot, and we had a yard sale over the weekend, and you know, there's just not enough time in the day. But I will show you the progress I have made. So the walkways are cleaned up. We had a really big storm. So our basil down there, which was one plant that had 4 really nice thick stalks, kind of split and now it's kind of laid over. We can't get it to stand back up. The storms did a lot of damage around here, but not in our property, so we're thankful that just our basil was split. The weeds are almost fully pulled out of the pepper and okra and flower bed, and then over here in this walkway where you see the cardboard right there, the weeds were, you know, knee high right there because our wheelbarrow broke, so we were unable to continue bringing in the mulch. So the weeds just kind of got outrageous right there down to the end where the basil is. But we did come through and we cleaned up this whole bed here. We pulled out the old beans that were over here dying out, making room for new stuff. We cleared this walkway. There wasn't a whole lot of weeds to really clean in this walkway here, but in the beds, hiding with the melons and the cucumbers and stuff, there was quite a bit of weedage going on. So we cleaned all of that up. We did this bed over here as well. And we took out the beans up here and right here. They were pretty much dying out anyway, so we went ahead and called it, and now we have room to plant some new stuff in here. Cucumbers over here kind of died off on this trellis, and our noodle beans have petered out for the year as well. We went ahead and picked all of those, and they went inside to dry to be saved. And we're going to go ahead and rip this off, and I might actually come through and plant some peas on this. I did plant peas over here along the edge of the fence, but I really like peas, and it takes a lot of peas to really feed a person, so we might go ahead and plant some more peas on the trellis, and it'll look really pretty too. This area I hadn't quite made it to when it came to the weeding. It got really hot out, and I planned on coming back in when it cooled off a bit, but then it got hot for a couple of days. But we do have some weedage going on up here and right in this area here. Nothing too crazy over here, but still there nonetheless. Lots of little tomatoes trying to make a comeback and come in. Getting some ripening going on. We've had a lot of different bugs found in the garden lately. So we had this little black poop specks all over almost all of our plants. Everywhere I was going, I was finding them. And we did some research. Like I said, we played pest detective because we've had all kinds of different poops everywhere, and bites in our leaves and things like that. And what we've come up with is we think we had thripes in the garden, and it says you know, a lot of weeds can cause that issue, and as you can tell back behind me, you know, there's a forest, so obviously we had a lot of weeds. So hopefully pulling all of those weeds, which I didn't know about the thripes until after I'd already come in and pulled them out. Hopefully pulling all of those weeds really does cut back on the thripe issue and the problem with a lot of our plants. We do know that we have squash bugs and cucumber beetles and vine borers, but I guess that's just the price you pay for having a garden, right? So here is the okra and sunflower bed, which you guys know for the longest time has been full of weeds. But I worked really, really, really hard in the heat, kind of trying to stay under the shade of all of these plants over here, and I managed to get it weed free. I don't know how long it'll stay weed free, but you can see the peppers, you can see the okra, the sunflowers, they're petering out everywhere. Okra is still going strong, as you can see. Beautiful flowers, lots of okra. Plants are getting big and looking lovely and healthy. Over here we got the cucamelon. I didn't really need to worry about this bed much. There wasn't really any weeds in there. I just thought I'd show you the cucamelons. Finally climbing up that trellis right there. Here we had this volunteer cucumber, couple plants in here, and they were over by the greenhouse, but we decided, since they're really at the vining stage, to bring the bucket in here, since this side of the kids' snack station really didn't do so great. And go ahead and let it do its thing up this. We can always use the cucumbers. We like them, kids like them. Pickles are awesome, so why not, right? Now for the jungle. As you can tell, this area here, and you know, I've been working further down. It's getting better. It's a lot of work, but you know, we're getting there. The pumpkins are pretty much demolished due to the squash bugs. Over here we got melons, and man, oh man, are we ready for those melons to be ripe. And you know what? That melon is finally ready to pick. Do you see that right there? So, this brown tendril right here, right before the melon, tells us that the melon is ready to pick. And if you see this right here, that is the thripe poop that I keep talking about, which is all over our plants. It is just everywhere in the garden. But that melon is going in my belly tonight. As you can see, the thripe has done some damage in here. And they're little bugs. I've seen the little bitty white bugs, but I didn't realize that's what they were when I saw them. So I didn't think anything of it until we started to see all these signs of other damage in here. This melon, as you can tell, here is the tendril before it, right there. And it is not brown, so this melon is not quite ready. Look at those bugs. Being that this is only our second year ever really gardening with food, and doing 1,600 square foot this year versus 40 square foot last year, we've run into a lot of pests that we didn't have last year. Small gardens, I guess we just got really lucky last year and had a great season for all of the things that we had, other than the cows. But, cows aren't a normal pest for your garden. And we're running into a lot of different bugs that either we didn't know about or we weren't expecting because we didn't see them last year. Guys, it is like insanely bright right now. But if y'all happen to see a pest on any of our videos that you know and we don't, please share your knowledge because we're still learning just like the rest of you. I mentioned the other day, I think last week, that these were our morning glories and they're variegated. Very, very pretty, but they weren't open, so I wasn't able to show you guys. But guess what? They're open this morning. Beautiful little flowers. They've got like this dark and light purple with the white. Then we've got some pink. And these ones are just a mixture of colors. So we've got different colors in here with the pinks and the whites. And look at this one over here. It's really neat. It's got both the purple and the pink. It's very pretty. As you can see, all of these weeds are all up in the way like usual. But I'm hoping by the end of this week, these weeds will be no more. The forest will be gone. And we will be planting some new things along this back fence right here. We are thinking about actually removing these from this little picket fence we put here because they're just, growing vigorously all over and just attaching to everything around them. And we are thinking about planting them along this entire back fence right here just for some extra beauty and some blockage between the back of the yard or jungle and the inside of the garden. Taking refuge from the sun in this canopy of loofahs. Look at this thing. It's massive. And we have I don't know. There was 6 big ones at first, and now I see at least another 6 or more new ones coming in. So we're at least at 12 loofahs. I'm pretty excited to pull the actual loofah out of these things, because like I had no clue that's where loofah came from. Look at that. And the bees just love this little teepee of flowers. They're always swarming this thing. This is probably one of the best outcomes in the garden, to be honest. Took a while to get started, really, but once it got started, man. And it still hasn't stopped. It's growing up and then back down and then growing back up, and it keeps trying to reach out to the sky like it's going to grab onto the stars and just, you know, go for it. But I like it.
Yeah, yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah,
Jay's mom got us this little cow waterer, so we figured we better hook it up and show y'all what it does.
wouldn't be the same without you. And they were not just friends, are we more than friends? We just have a man, don't you? You think I'm stone cold, tripping, man, I'm sick of being teased. I just want to below, yeah. Don't lie to me, no, no, don't lie to me, don't lie to me, don't lie to me, no, no, don't lie to me, no, no. She moves like a dancing queen. She's attending for wish and all this under my eyes. Please, babe, don't make that move with your eyes. Shut the past is past, but my love still doesn't away.
That was definitely a cow. Cow. Bad heifer. What if you pull this hose like, hang on.
Around it?
Yeah, so that it's coming around from the front end. There we go. But now it's just watering the mulch.
Oh! Right in the phone.
You just water like this.
Now you're the heifer. Oh my God, that's too funny. I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
I feel like it's going to beat the basil.
Yeah, it probably will. Hey! Yeah, it's gonna beat the basil. Oh, move the flower pot and it'll be all right.
Oh, it's a bad heifer.
It's hitting that so hard that it's moving the smell over here.
Oh, it's wafting it.
It's what?
Wafting it.
Wafting?
Wafting.
It's wafting.
It's wafting. Let's go wafting.
It takes the tractor and that around.
I'm not around. I'm not around. Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry.
Yeah, we need to put it like that.
Not
We
me.
need to
Don't
put
get
it on
me.
a stand.
I'm on.
We need a table. We need a table.
I am the only one that
Through the-
is prepared for this.
We'll just set it back.
You have the hose in your hand.
It flipped back at me. Hey, I'm gonna need you to move that water. You better cut it out. Hey! You better stop. I got a chair.
I got a heifer.
I'm gonna hit you with my chair.
I'm gonna hit you with my heifer.
Here, let's try this. Put the heifer in the chair. All right, heifer. Just stay put. Run. Ready, go. Run! You gotta let go of the hose.
That's what they tell me.
You gotta let go and run. Ready? Oh, you knocked the heifer over. All right, ready? Go. All right, it got me a little. But yeah, it evened itself out a little, maybe. I mean, it's getting some stuff, a little. I feel like it still needs up higher.
Just what it's doing.
Rainy?
Who needs the lake?
Set it.
Backwards?
What if we set it like this?
Backwards and
No, like this.
gotta grab it by its head.
I almost fell. I was thinking like this in the chair. That take it on.
That doesn't hold the tail.
Redneck ingenuity. Go, let go and let's see. Ready? Go.
No.
Let go. I mean, that's a little better. No, it's not. Okay, let's try
That would be
backwards.
fine for to turn it around and spread out.
I'm wet.
Well, then. But now we gotta move it that way a little. Oh, gosh.
A wet cow.
And a wet camera. Just turn it.
You said turn it.
Here, let me help. Get it like this.
No, no, I already got myself.
All right, just fix the front legs.
We're good.
Oh!
No, we're not. No, we're not.
This isn't warm water.
No. Wish it was.
Who needs the lake whenever you... No, that's north.
All right, guys. Here comes the moment we've all been waiting for.
Well, we've been waiting for. Watermelon's cut!
Whoop, whoop.
Try not to step on anything.
Ooh, I wonder how much that thing weighs. That's a big old baby, huh?
I don't know, probably 15? Maybe? I don't know, but it's cool. Thump's right.
Thump's just right.
Feels right.
Looks ripe.
I bet it's gonna be tasty.
Mm-hmm. Let's go eat this thing.
Oh, I was 5 pounds off. We got
20.6. Heck yes. Big old melon.